Howdy, folks. This is Dr. Matt Grisham, Director of the Grimm Family Center for Organic Production and Research at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and you're joining us for Organic Chat. Howdy, folks. Welcome to another edition of Organic Chat. Today, I'll be chatting with Amanda Kidd, a Cal Poly student and our social media director here for the Organic Center. Amanda, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Amanda Kidd, and I am a junior here at Cal Poly. I'm an agricultural communications major, as well as, like Matt said, the director of social media at the Grimm Organic Farm. I've really enjoyed working for them. I started in about April, and I trained with Mary Ignacia Minot, and I've learned a lot about podcasting, Instagram, LinkedIn, the website especially. I just really enjoyed working there, and I've learned so much.
Yeah. So, Amanda, you came to us with not a lot of organic experience.
Yeah, definitely.
And we were first introduced actually in season 2, Organic Odyssey, for the long podcast. What are some of the things that you got out of that experience? So, you were one of the co-hosts.
Yeah.
And you came into it kind of beginner mind, if you will. What are some of the things that have excited you about organic ag as you've gone down this journey?
I've definitely learned a lot from industry professionals. I feel like, especially just speaking to industry professionals, I came into that class not knowing anything about podcasting, really not knowing anything about organics besides like what you see at the grocery store. It's like, oh, organic is better for you, or you see it like little CCOF labels on your fruit and vegetables, but really seeing how it's produced and learning about how the farmers go about it and just everything. It's been super interesting to me. I'm learning about soils, regenerative ag. Like before this class, I didn't know any of that. I was like, oh, organic just means healthier. Like I had no idea.
Oh.
So it's been very cool to work with Dr. Grisham, as well as Dr. Mike on that project, and it actually came out today. Shout out Organic Odyssey.
Yep.
Make sure you guys go listen to that. And just like working, especially in the podcast studio, was something that was super interesting to me. Being a co-host and then learning like the background of it, of like producing the podcast and interviewing people and interviewing professionals and getting professionals to come on. I felt like it really grew me as a person, especially being able just to speak to industry professionals, definitely.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So what, reflecting on that, are there some specific things that you learned about organic agriculture that were surprising to you, or things that, that you've been inspired to learn more about?
I mean, definitely the use of pesticides or herbicides. I didn't realize like the rules or regulations around that. I thought organic meant like just none. Like there was none at all. Like I had no idea. And also learning about soil health has been super interesting. I didn't realize how much like intention goes into keeping the soil healthy at the farm, and not like I didn't even realize there was like, I knew there was different types of soil obviously growing, but I didn't realize how much study and like how much research goes into keeping the soil a certain way in order for the organic farm to function.
The pesticide and soils thing, I think, is something that's been really consistent and interesting. So many folks who don't have experience on the growing side of organics, I think, tend to just boil it down to, well, no pesticides. And the irony, of course, is that really the whole organic movement started as a soil-centric movement, and how can we build healthy soil? And the pesticides thing is really something that has come out with later certification.
Yeah.
And of course, we do use some organic pesticides. It's really the types that we use. So we tend to use naturally occurring compounds and biocontrols and things like that. So living organisms versus synthetic chemistry-based things like that get used in conventional agriculture. It's one of the things I'm hope that people actually get out of this podcast series is some of these nuances and some of the, the more nitty-gritty details about organic ag, because so often, I mean, that's what you're talking about. Your experience is a really common one. I'm interacting with folks all the time who just don't seem to get that. So what are you hoping to learn more about in terms of organic ag?
I definitely feel like being back on campus now. I just got back from summertime, so I was home, so I didn't have the opportunity to go out to the farm, but definitely one of my goals for this fall quarter is to go out to the farm, spend time with the researchers, taking videos of them, talking to them, because I am genuinely interested in organic agriculture, and I want to keep building that. Like, I feel like I have a very base foundation right now of understanding of what organic agriculture is, and I feel like learn by doing, like being out in the field with the researchers, and even though I'm just there to like take pictures and talk to them, it'll allow me to grow like with hands-on work, and I'm really excited to like talk to Megan, Una, Abraham, all them, Dr. Grisham, obviously. And really like dive deeper into that. So hopefully by the end of this quarter, end of the year, I have a better understanding of what organic agriculture really is. And it's not just a trend like people say, because it's not. Like, I didn't realize that at first, but I thought it was just like people wanting to be healthier, be like, oh, I'm only going to eat organic because it's healthier. And yes, maybe it is healthier, but I really want to see the process that goes behind that and how it's grown and like what makes it healthier for you or what makes a difference versus conventional and or organic. So
so returning to the social media, can you tell us a little bit about, so one of the awesome things that Amanda brought to us this year, and those of you who follow the center on Instagram probably see this, is our organic quiz. So what gave you the idea to start the organic quiz?
So I feel like I really wanted to see like a lot of interaction with the page. Some work I've done in the past, I've seen stories like that where it's just been like, oh, you ask little questions, and I feel like as a person from like an audience perspective, not someone running the account, when you see little quizzes like that, I'm way more interested in learning, and I wanted people to have like that base knowledge of like, okay, I know nothing, but I can answer these questions. If I get it wrong, then I'm like, oh, I can go look. Like, I'm very like an interactive person on social media, because I feel like social media people just like scroll like mindlessly, like there's not anything there. But then when you see something like that and you're actually interacting with it, I feel like it would be a way to like bring awareness of what organic ag is, and also like have people interacting with the page to make it more like fun. Yes, it's obviously an educational page, but I thought it'd be a good way to just like bring more of the audience in and play like a game, even though it's not really a game, but it is essentially a game.
Right.
So
so for those of you who haven't interacted, if you're in the dark ages of social media like me, and you haven't interacted with this, what Amanda's developed is every week we've got on our Instagram feed a little quiz that has 3 or 4 questions. Sometimes it's true, false, or multiple choice, and they're just simple questions about organic ag. And it's just a way to kind of engage with folks and get an idea of what people are thinking. One thing I don't know about that, I never thought to ask you, does it actually keep score of what people answer?
It does not keep score, no. But I can see, like, personally when I go on the account, I can see who answered what. So I guess it does keep score, because they'll say, like, 25% of people answered this question. 100% of people, like, it breaks it down. So I like sometimes there's some questions where it's like 25, 45, another 25, like, of how many of the people have answered that certain answer for that question.
Right.
But then other times people are like, it's 100%. So every single person that's answered has answered that.
Right.
So it doesn't keep like individual score, I guess.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It keeps
but the aggregate
score on the questions. Yeah.
Well, that's really useful. I mean, that just occurred to me that might be something, if as we continue doing this over months and years, we can reflect and see, you know, is our audience answering the same way over time, or are people's understanding of organic agriculture, is it increasing?
Yeah, it's
over
definitely
time?
fun to see the same people like every week. Like I feel like right when I posted at 4 or 5 or 6 on Friday afternoons that it's like, it's usually the same first 5 people, and then other people start trickling in. I'm like, this is fun. Yeah, it's cool to see people interacting with the page for sure, because I don't know, I just like it. It's fun. Yeah.
So not to put you on the spot too much on social media, but you've brought some great energy and ideas to this, and certainly Mary, our former social media director, who we still collaborate with, has done some wonderful things. She is amazing, isn't she? She was on an organic chat early on. Do you have any other? I mean, what if you could just kind of wave your social media magic wand and develop something new and exciting for us? Where do you see that going?
You know what I think would be really cool would be to get something to go viral.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but just like get some piece of content, like a reel, or like film something, even if it's just like short and funny, and just get it to go viral on the page to see just like, I feel like that'd be cool, just for people to like be like, okay, that many people saw something about organic agriculture. I think it'd be fun to do a like, not a TikTok, because we are not a TikTok page, we're an Instagram page, but to do like, it's organic agriculture, of course, blah, blah, blah. Have you seen that trend? Where like... No. Okay, so this summer I also worked as another like social media manager, and we filmed it, and it was like, it's Hanley's, of course we do this. So it was like... Oh, I have seen that. Yeah, like that sort of thing. Yeah. And I feel like that'd be fun to like go out to the farm and like have the students do that, and then film a reel like that and post it. So I feel like that would be something that could... That would be a lot of fun. It's like a trend, so it could possibly go viral. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to just have a lot of people interacting with
Yeah.
the page like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's always the challenge, right? I mean,
Totally.
there's so much out there. So
So much.
how do you develop something that stands out and
Yeah.
captures people's attention?
Yeah.
But it's been great. I mean,
It's
I
been
think
fun.
the quiz has been a wonderful addition to our
Yeah.
social media portfolio, and looking forward to doing a lot more along that lines. So, in terms of organic ag, so what does it now? I mean, there are no right answers to this question, but what is it to you now? Now that you've, so you started with us in the podcast
Yes.
almost a year ago, and you came in again with not,
Yeah.
beyond the just, okay, there's organic stuff in the supermarket. What does it mean to you now?
I will definitely say now it's more important to me. Before, when I was grocery shopping, it sounds so dumb, but I never looked at that. But now I find myself only buying organic produce and vegetables.
Oh, okay.
I definitely go and I look for that label now when I'm there. And yes, maybe it's a little bit more expensive, but I feel like I'm more investing in my not brand, but this is something that I'm working hard on in a project, and I definitely pay attention to that way more now.
That's a really interesting comment, though. So it sounds like your shopping behavior has changed to some
Totally.
extent. So you're actually looking for this label, the
Yeah.
USDA seal or certifier seal.
Yeah.
Has it affected any other? Are you looking at other labels more, do you think, as a result of that?
A little bit. I never I think it might just be me getting older as well. I'm doing my own grocery shopping more now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely am looking at it, which is so funny because before I kind of just be oh, I need a tomato. Okay, I'm going to go grab a tomato. No, now I actually look and I'm oh, I know that company, or I know where this is coming from. I'm very invested. Maybe I take longer in the grocery store now, but I'm definitely invested in that. And I just feel I definitely for some reason I feel I just am drawn more to that now. And yeah, so that's probably my
great.
biggest change, I would say. And yeah, and just my interest in it now, because before the podcast, I didn't really know anything about it. I was a sophomore. I'm still learning, and now I'm actually interested. I'm reading about it and doing research before I post stuff, and it's definitely been a lot more fun, and I really have enjoyed learning all about it. And I still want to learn a lot more because there's so much to learn I didn't realize.
Yeah, well, that never stops.
Yeah.
I think as someone who's been around a half century now, it really is true. The more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know.
Totally.
And that whole Dunning-Kruger thing, coming into something thinking, oh, I'm an expert, and then realizing, oh, I know nothing, and then getting to the point where you're well, I know a little bit. It's a real thing.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn every day, definitely.
And with agriculture and organic agriculture, it's so variable from system to system.
Totally.
Are you talking agriculture in the Central Valley of California and the Central Coast? Are you talking about Arizona, New England?
Yeah, so much.
They're all so different. That's great. Well, I know it's been really great to have you as part of the team, and I'm looking forward to what you'll come up with next, because you brought a lot of creativity to the role. And thank you so much for agreeing to have this chat with us.
Thank you. It's been super fun.
And of course, Amanda's in this unique position where she will later be doing the post-production and editing of this little chat, as well as the future ones that move on. But as always, the goal of these is really to allow you all, the listeners, to just hear a little bit about the folks that we're working with here at the center. So again, thank you so much, Amanda, and it's going to be a great year.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Great. Thanks for listening to Organic Chat. This podcast is recorded on the Cal Poly campus. Production provided by our production engineer, Mary Nascimento.